While the country has been set on course for imminent collapse, Old Yeller Biden staggers forward with his job approval rating at 33%.
We'll teach Donald Trump a valuable lesson. Don't mess with the women in America unless you want to get the benefit.
His campaign of delusion, leaning on abortion.
The reason women are being forced to travel out of state, this is going to go on for a while. They got this plan.
Paranoid fantasies of threats to democracy.
One thing that the president does not do is insult voters or American people.
Nothing but articles after articles after articles. He has expressed hatred for
who's writing those articles.
It doesn't matter. Look
and it's
at
not.
him. He has vitriol for them, and so does MSNBC, and so does CNN, and so does the New York Times. They have vitriol for half of the nation. They don't look at them like fellow Americans, and it's unfortunate. They try to paint them as racist. That all the things that they do to their fellow Americans who simply want a safe home, a safe community, for their children to have prosperity. They want the same thing.
Too much of what's happening in our country today is not normal. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
While waging war on the technologically driven workforce of 70 million independent contractors, a boneheaded move that can only further damage the future of the shrinking American economy.
We're fundamentally changing the economy of this country, and everybody's getting a little worried about it.
Old Yeller limps ever forward, begging to be fact-checked as he barks one lie after another.
Over the last year, prices are down on everyday items from a gallon of gasoline to a gallon of milk, and folks are beginning to feel it.
Inflation is at its highest level in 40 years. Consumer prices are up nearly 14%. Gasoline is up 39.1%. And while an infinite number of illegals line up to receive Obamacare, the number of American citizens without health insurance went down by 4.2 million. Publicly held debt is up 13.7%, and the amount of citizens on food stamps has increased. Adding to Old Yeller's inevitable reckoning with the data, his main handler, Barack Obama, is reportedly panicking, begging Old Yeller to drop out while frantically playing musical chairs with his aides. Old Yeller hasn't just angered MAGA Republicans with vitriol aimed at millions of Americans free to vote for whoever they choose.
Democracy means rejecting and repudiating political violence, regardless of party. Such violence is never, never, never acceptable in America. It's undemocratic, and it must never be normalized to advance political power.
And everyone beware, because they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that they're not going to let up, and they should not.
Old Yeller has managed to anger disgusted parents, foreign dignitaries, minorities.
They're going to put you all back in chains.
Democrats.
Get your words straight, Jack.
That's what I hear on MSNBC.
You don't hear that in MSNBC.
Independents and everyday Americans.
You are actively trying to diminish our Second Amendment right and take away our guns.
You're full of shit.
All right, thank you.
No, shush. Shush. And I love people who say, the blood of liberty, or the tree of liberty is watered with the blood of patriots. Well, guess what, man? I didn't see a whole lot of patriots that are out there walking around making sure that we have these weapons. Well, and if you really want to worry about the government, you need an F-16.
He may have a dim clue that he's going to get what's coming to him from God Almighty before the Biden show drives off the cliff.
How involved were you in your son's Chinese shakedown text message? Were you sitting there? Were you involved?
No, I wasn't, and I don't know.
Were you?
No.
That said, Old Yeller's tenure has proven one thing. The compromised uniparty sex club known as Congress is ill-prepared to deal with the overwhelming sabotage of the highest offices of the United States from within.
So these parties are like, it gets hot and heavy.
Yeah, it's like an in-house thing. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't.
John Bound,